Welcome back, Oil Country. Austin here with the Oilers and Kings playoff preview video. Now, I did an Eastern Conference playoff preview and a Western Conference playoff preview. If you missed either of those videos, I will leave the links in the description below. But for the Oilers and Kings series, I wanted to create an entirely separate video. This is something I wanted to make sure that I dedicated a good amount of time to and not just like 2 minutes because the Oilers are obviously the focus of this channel, and there's a decent amount to talk about with these two teams, especially their history in the playoffs. This is the third straight season that these two are meeting in the postseason. In 2022, the Oilers knocked the Kings off in 7 on home ice. Last year, the Oilers won in 6 games. They were down 2-1 in the series, and they were down 3-0 in Game 4, and they had that miraculous comeback to tie the series. Went back home to Edmonton, blew the Kings out, and then won in Game 6 off a late goal by Kyler Yamamoto in the third period. The Oilers, I think, defensively and their depth, I think it's actually better than last season. Obviously, last year, the Oilers scored more goals during the regular season, but I like this iteration of the Oilers more just in terms of their overall offense, top to bottom in their lineup. The fourth line, probably their weakest link, depending who's in the lineup. If you have Janmark and Carrick in the lineup, it's like, Connor Brown didn't really start producing until the last 3-4 weeks of the season, which is great because he's going into the postseason. He's looking really good. I like Connor Brown, and he's someone that you might even be able to elevate if you need to, just for some extra speed in the top 9. And speaking of speed in the top 9, I'm very curious to see if Dylan Holloway cracks the Game 1 lineup for Edmonton. I don't know who you take out of the lineup if he does, because I don't think you want Dylan Holloway playing on the fourth line at this point, because he's not going to be as effective with 6 or 7 minutes of ice time. He's someone that needs 10, 11, or 12 minutes to, keep the legs fresh. He's just an energizer bunny. He just goes and goes and goes. If he sits for too long, a little bit harder for players to get back up and running, especially once the adrenaline wears off in Game 1 after the first period, because emotions are going to be high. The crowd's going to be absolutely deafening. But when it comes to these two teams, tactics-wise, the Oilers, like I mentioned, they can attack you through the neutral zone with speed. And once they're in the offensive zone, they work the puck back to the defense, and then they try and get it down low to a forward, usually McDavid if he's on the ice. And then McDavid, he'll cut around somewhere in the middle and look for someone to pass to, or he'll make his own magic and try and put the puck in the net. But the Oilers, the amount of offense that they generate from the back end could be a big difference maker. They have players on the team that can crash the net. They bang bodies, pucks that, guys can deflect the puck in. Zach Hyman is a terrific net front presence. When it comes to attacking the LA Kings, the Kings like to play that 1-3-1 neutral zone trap. A lot of fans hate watching it, and I am one of those fans that hates watching it. Grew up in the clutch and grab era of the late 90s, early 2000s, watching those New Jersey Devils teams create havoc and cause fits for other teams. Now, the LA Kings, their system relies on puck retrievals, and when they're on the attack, they're going to be dumping the puck in. So the Oilers defense, they have to be mobile. You have to get the puck and you have to move it quickly, because you don't want to allow the LA Kings to set up. And, you don't want to allow the LA Kings to, you don't want to give them time to set up that 1-3-1. If you don't give them time to be structured, you can make a mess of their system. Same with on the attack. If McDavid or whoever is coming through the neutral zone with speed, you have to have a winger, someone on the wing with speed behind the puck. That way, the puck carrier, he has someone to give the puck to if they can get to that blue line, and then they have the jump on the defense. When we look at both rosters, I just think the Edmonton Oilers do look a bit better in this situation. I think the Kings, they've been playing a lot better since they fired Todd McClellan, but their system and structure is still very similar to how he coached. But let's kind of dive more into the deeper numbers here. So head-to-head this season, the Oilers won 3 of their 4 games against the LA Kings. They scored 11 goals for, had 9 goals against. They were shut out 4-0 in that one game after the All-Star game. It was just after the Oilers had lost or, ended that 16-game win streak. So I think there was a bit of a lull in that game. But the Oilers, they do play the Kings well. The Oilers are very patient. They don't force anything. I went to an Oilers and Kings game live back in February. It was near the end of February. And the Oilers played a very disciplined, structured game and patient game. And you have to be patient against the LA Kings. If you start to get frustrated at that neutral zone, you're in for a world of trouble, and the LA Kings are going to pounce and make you pay. And so when we look at the LA Kings side, they finished the year, they were 44, 27, and 11. They were 4th in the NHL in expected goals for at 54.56%. They finished 12th on the power play at 22.6%. Now their penalty kill is terrific. They were 2nd in the league at 84.6%. They scored 3.1 goals per game, which was 17th, but they only gave up 2.56 goals per game, which was 3rd. They have good goaltending. They have a good defensive system that really suppresses shots and goals. And the team was 9th in the NHL in shots on goal per game at 31.9. The Los Angeles Kings, they can be a very frustrating team, but in terms of the actual matchup, I do like the way the Oilers match up against LA. I think they have enough speed. I think they have enough depth to push through that 1-3-1. I think their defense are mobile enough. Ekholm, Bouchard, guys that can move the puck. Darnell Nurse is a terrific skater. If Darnell Nurse doesn't have an outlet pass, he can skate himself out of trouble if he needs to. The one defenseman that I am worried about for the Edmonton is Vincent Desharnais. He doesn't have the foot speed to retrieve pucks quickly against the Kings. I am curious to see how LA attacks the Oilers defense, who they put out and try and line match, but the Oilers do have home ice advantage, which means Chris Knoblauch should be getting the matchups that he wants and the most optimal matchups. And if the Oilers analytics department is up and running, and if Chris Knoblauch does look at some of the analytics, I don't know what the private data says, but I'm sure they have their tactics ready to go, and I think they probably have an idea of who they want out there at all times. The Oilers this season, they were 49, 27, and 6. However, they did lose 4 of 5 heading into the playoffs, but I don't put too much stock into that. That game against the Colorado Avalanche at the end of the season, that was more of an AHL lineup. They were resting all of their stars. The game against Arizona that they lost, in Arizona, that was the Coyotes' final home game in Arizona, so a lot of emotions, and it's hard to win a game like that. The other Arizona loss before that game was in overtime, and before that game, that's when the players were officially told that they were going to not be playing in Arizona anymore. So again, not making excuses for Edmonton. Obviously, you would have liked to see a couple more wins down the stretch. You want to go into the playoffs hot and feeling good about your game, but the Oilers, I think they've been focused on, especially since they clinched that playoff spot after that 6-2 win against Colorado Avalanche. I think their focus has just been making sure their guys are rested, healthy, playing structured hockey, and understanding what it takes to win. They were 1st in the NHL in expected goals for percentage this season. They were 4th on the power play. Their penalty kill ranked 15th at 79.5%. They were the 4th best offensive team in the league. They scored 3.56 goals per game. They gave up 2.88 goals per game, which was 10th, and their shots on goal per game was 1st. They almost have 34 shots on goal per game. That doesn't take into consideration shot attempts, Corsi 4, Fenwick 4, that sort of thing. This is just kind of more raw data when I'm looking at these two teams. And again, the Kings, they were 1-2-1 against Edmonton in the regular season. Overtime loss, 2 regulation losses, and that 4-0 win. Now, when it comes to making a prediction here, obviously you don't want to get too confident. I'm someone that, I am confident in the Oilers, obviously. When I look at this matchup, the Oilers have the edge in power play. Even though the Kings have a terrific penalty kill, the Oilers' power play is good, and they have made the Kings pay. The Oilers have the edge in ability to score goals. Their goaltending and defense has been a lot better at goal suppression since that first month and a half of the season. And the Oilers attack in waves. And as long as Edmonton plays patient and they don't force anything through the neutral zone, and they're able to attack the Kings before they can set up properly in the neutral zone, I like Edmonton's chances. In terms of my actual prediction for this series, I'm going Oilers in 6. I see some fans saying the Oilers maybe in 5, Kings in 7. Listen, this is a series that probably will go 7, but I do like the Oilers' chances here. But the big thing and the most important thing is winning game 1 on home ice. For the love of God, the Oilers have not won a game 1 on home ice since, I think, 1990, 1991, I think was the stat that I saw floating around somewhere. I might have to fact check that, or you can fact check me, but it's been a long time. It's been over 30 years since the Oilers won a game 1 on home ice. Edmonton needs to get up 1-0 in a series because they fall behind 1-0 in a series consistently. They've been doing it since 2022. Well, even 2021. And then the play-in against Chicago, I don't want to talk about that. Tough memories. So win game 1 on home ice, get that 1-0 series lead, because the less hockey that you have to play against teams like LA, these bruising, hard-hitting type teams, the better it is for the Oilers. They're skilled players to be able to have space on the ice to go out and make plays, score goals, and win this series. What do you think is going to happen in the series? What is your series prediction? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And as a friendly reminder, I am doing a bracket challenge league on bracketchallenge.nhl.com. I created the Austin Hockey League. There's already like 80 of you that have joined, which is awesome. I will be giving away some prizes to the top performing brackets. So it is free to enter, of course, and I'm not affiliated with the NHL website or anything like that. This is just a fun league that I'm starting up to give back to the community. You have all given me so much support, and another thing that I want to mention is I will be live streaming the first 4 games of this series on YouTube. I will be live reacting. We'll have a live chat. We're going to have notifications on. We're going to have sound effects. We're going to make a show of it, and you are going to get to watch me freak out a lot. I'm probably going to look a lot more like Steve Dangle, during a live broadcast during the playoffs than I do. Normally I come across as very stoic and kind of calm in these videos. I do get a little hysterical once the playoffs start because the emotions are so high. I want this team to win so bad. But that is something that I will be setting up. I have a live stream already scheduled for Monday at 7:45 p.m. Mountain. I'm very excited. The playoffs are here. This is so much fun. Let me know your playoff predictions, your Oilers series predictions in the comment section below. As always, make sure you like these videos. Make sure you subscribe. Let all your friends know. If there's anyone that doesn't know about me, but you think they might enjoy my content, let them know. And of course, before the series starts, tell someone that you love them. I'll see you soon, Oil Country. Take care.